Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to the Flying Fluffy Hockey live review of the Florida Panthers' totally not controversial at all 3-2 victory over the Boston Bruins in Game 5 to take a commanding 3-1 series lead headed back home. And also, incidentally, the Edmonton Oilers losing at home 4-3 to the Vancouver Canucks, with the Canucks taking a 2-1 series lead. How's everybody doing? There's a lot to talk about. First off, according to Jameson Olive, Paul Maurice said that Reinhart and Tarasenko are both good to go for Game 5. So we're good there. So, how is everybody doing? Yeah, one more win and we move on. Good morning, Charlie. How you doing, Damien? Let's see. Oh, I didn't even realize that I didn't even realize Skinner was pulled in that Oilers loss. Skinner was pulled after allowing 4 goals on 15 shots. Gah. That is brutal. Let's see. Hello, Brian. Hello, Hungry Xenomorph. Brian says, yesterday completely broke the internet. Jeff with masterful sarcasm says, it's real unfortunate our whole run is null and void now that Boston had a call go against them. Jeff says, r/hockey is a toxic wasteland of Bruins fans crying, well, it's Reddit. What do you expect? So, the Boston Bruins disagreed with the official's decision on a failed coach's challenge for goalie interference, one that let the game-tying goal stand in their Game 4 loss to the Panthers on Sunday night. So, yeah. So, how is everybody doing, by the way? Let's see. Brian says apparently Sweeney is speaking at 12:20. You wonder what he'll rant about. I wonder what Sweeney will say. Let's see. I was just wanting to take a look. Yesterday, the Pacers beat Phoenix 121-89 to tie the series 2-2, and also the Nuggets beat the Timberwolves 115-107 to tie that series 2-2. True says, good morning, Kyle. Woke up with a smile today because the Panthers kicked some butt. Yeah. Bennett has become the most hated man in Boston. And you're wearing a Carolina hat tonight? That's awesome. So, hello Shane, I'm doing pretty good. So, let's talk about last night, shall we? Panthers take an early 2-0 deficit in the first period by giving up 2 goals on 5 shots. 2 goals on 5 shots. The Panthers had been heavily outshooting the Bruins in the first period, but we're still losing 2-0. And then in the second period, Panthers started playing a bit better. Lundell cuts the deficit in half. It's 2-1 headed into the third. And then the Panthers go on the power play, and Sam Bennett pushes Coyle into Swayman and then proceeds to score. Damien says the Hawks got the number 1 overall pick yesterday. Yeah, call in with the good news. Reinhardt and Vladdy are good to go for tomorrow, so that's good. So here's the thing: Coyle skated into his own paint into the blue paint of his own volition. Bennett did not need to shove him. The way the rebound was going, Bennett most likely would have scored without needing to push Coyle. But because there was no penalty called, no penalty for cross-checking, no penalty for goaltender interference, it was Toronto who made the decision that, yes, there was contact, but there was not enough to interfere with the goalie. Kenneth says there's no deflated footballs in hockey. Is that what they're upset about? Hey, Eyes, Jaws will be joining us in about 20 minutes at most. Let's see. The Atlanta Hawks got the number 1 overall pick yesterday. Yeah, weren't the Pistons like in the Pistons were like in the first overall pick spot, but they only got 5th. Can I go over the whole bracket and who's won what so far? Well, yeah, I mean, Colorado beats Winnipeg in 5. Dallas beat Vegas Game 7. Vancouver beat Nashville in 6, was it? And Edmonton beat the Kings, I believe, in, what was it, 5? Hello, Aksu. Aksu says, apparently I have been gifted. Oh, I could just do round 2, what's going on so far. Okay. Aksu says, apparently I've been gifted a membership on here despite not being on the stream. Yeah, well, I'll tell you how that happened. Apparently, whenever we do a live stream, if someone gifts memberships, but the YouTube cannot find any non-members in the chat to give the membership to, YouTube will give like random people membership.
It'll start giving memberships to people that watch other hockey channels.
Yeah, the people who start off watching other hockey channels. So David's been loving this series. Announcers say all the time these teams hate each other, but this is a real case of these teams absolutely hating each other, and it's really entertaining. Jeff says, I'm sorry. I expect a 2+ goal win tomorrow. Boston has to be deflated. That was their best shot at a W. They're still without rest. You'll be disappointed if we don't come out firing tomorrow. Well, Boston's season really is on the line now, so I wouldn't be surprised if the physicality gets upped even further. Who do I think is the best wiener on the team? The wiener? Who's the wieners?
Well, those are forwards.
Forwards?
So, like, if you don't want to count the centers, like Barkov is the center.
I see.
Count, you know, like I would say Reinhardt for Hagee.
Reinhardt for Hagee. Yeah, those are probably good choices. The Chicken Doidle says the announcers were so obnoxious yesterday. Did you and Jaws hear their whole rant about Swayman's chicken parm? True says, I still think we're waiting to play at that more than 100% level for the Eastern Conference Final. You know, last night we played just enough to win. We needed 3 goals and we got 3 goals. And one of those goals, if the goal of Toronto was to completely troll Boston,
yes.
Mission accomplished. Yeah. I can't believe almost every Bruins fan must be looking at Bennett and thinking, he can't keep getting away with it. Let's see. Maurice confirms both Tarasenko and Reinhardt are good to go for Game 5. Let's see. Let's see. Reinhardt was bleeding a bucket after getting hit by a puck, according to Maurice. He's fine for next game. The Panthers held the Bruins to just 2 shots on goal and 8 shot attempts in the third period. Maurice on Bennett. Here's a good quote. There's been lots of energy with this, lots of coverage. I think you've lost your minds on it, which is fine. You have that right. We've been a very disciplined, very composed team in a good way. It's gone unnoticed. We're all right with that. Let's see. Mr. Bennett, I want off this wild ride. You need to solve the riddle. Rangers fans may be in for... Craig says Rangers fans may be in for a disappointment when the playoff gets rolling. Well, first we got to finish this off against Boston. It's the exact same outcome so far, but in reverse. Last year, Bruins split at home and then won both on the road. This year, Panthers split at home and then won both on the road. So Panthers we just should win Game 5. iDog is so happy that it was Bennett that had that controversial goal. It just makes it more hilarious. Let's see how many law firms contacted Bennett after his interview. SoFlo, you think
Bennett.
You think Boston has had trouble playing with our wieners? Wait, what do you think? Let's see. Rangers have been sitting Rempe to get ready for us. Hopefully Gadjo will play. The Bruins on Monday announced 4 roster moves and called up 3 players from Providence ahead of Game 5 against the Panthers. The Bruins recalled forward Patrick Brown, forward Jason Magna, and goaltender Brandon Bussey from Providence. Let's see. Hey.
Let me show. I'll be up there.
Yeah. Jameson tweeted about Florida Panthers 5-on-5 advantages with Ekblad on the ice tonight. 5-on-5 advantages with Ekblad on the ice tonight or last night. Shot attempts 38-11. Shots on goal 19-3. Scoring chances 21-6. Goals 2-0. 70.29 expected goals for percentage. And of course, someone in the replies accused him of cherry picking fortunate results. He's too slow and a liability. Bad shots, bad stick handling decisions. Gives up a ton of quality scoring chances. Too many penalties and bringing down the top pair. I wonder if that idiot is still watching Game 1, because Ekblad was only that bad in Game 1. Ekblad almost cost us the game with that late-minute penalty. I mean, Ekblad, aside from Game 1 of this round, has been solid. The Providence Bruins were eliminated the other night in the AHL playoffs. Let's see. True says, when we have that speed up the middle from Barkey and Benny, we're very hard to stop. If we don't skate it all the way to the net, we can do it in and have great winners to dig it out and set up the shot. Icy says, hello, Kyle. I'm a little dehydrated because of all the salt intake these last few days. Any suggestions? Water. But not the tears. They're also salty. Drink plenty of fluids. Get some juice. I've heard there's plenty of wine going around, but that's also will dehydrate you. Metallic Coaster says Ekblad was a beast Game 3 and very good last game as well. Yeah. Let's see. What else do we got? Nikita Zadorov was fined $5,000, the maximum allowable under the CBA, for cross-checking Connor McDavid. Let's see. Oh, Ketel is on the ice for the Rangers this morning. And there will be apparently a hearing for Carson Soucy out of the end of game scrum in Edmonton last night. And yeah, both Tarasenko and Reinhart are good to go for Game 5. Let's see. Okay. Someone, let's see. Sarah Sivian had an assessment of the Bennett goaltender interference fiasco. Bennett said, I think we got the right call. I think by the time I'm putting that, it's before Simon is going to be able to get over there, whether Coyle was on him or not. And Sarah had an assessment. We agree about 4 things here, right? These are the words of a man who knows he got at least a little bit lucky in this situation. His second sentence is not incorrect. It shouldn't matter if his second sentence is valid. The rule needs to be consistent, whatever we decide the rule is. And the Panthers were likely to win this one regardless of the above. Oh, let's see. Dave Portnoy is punching the air right now. Hello.
Hey, I had already tried to add myself once, and as soon as I did, you started to crackle up a little bit. So I removed myself. I lowered the quality of my camera from 1080 to 720. So we'll see if that has any problems. You were crystal clear without any issues, and as soon as I added myself, you started gurgling, but we seem to be okay now.
Okay. So
good afternoon. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Florida Panthers Apologist Show, where we will take everything that everybody else hates about the Panthers and explain it away to make it sound like nothing ever happened, because we can.
Collins says no one is talking about how good that Barkov goal was.
That was filthy.
Yeah.
That was dirty. He should be arrested for that. That was... He just said, beautiful. No, I'll do it myself.
Yeah. He single-handedly stopped the puck from going out of the zone, and then what a goal, what a move.
Yeah.
True says internet saying NHL is rigged due to Benny goal.
Right?
And apparently Dave Portnoy is melting down harder than Chernobyl.
Yeah, I saw one of his tweets from last night asking for dirty play and for somebody to get hurt. And I retweeted it. And for those of you who have ever followed me on Twitter, my response, there may be only a couple people who remember this. Years back, I put together like a little 25-second song with the dogs at the beach running around. And it was if they're happy, 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 clap your hands. It's the happy song. So that was my response to him. I tend to, this time of year on Twitter, I tend to just respond with fluffy memes.
Coop says, how about that Okposo assist? He's eating his words on calling him old and slow.
Oh, no. Take it easy. He is old and he is slow. Okay. But he's playing well for an old, slow guy, and there goes the internet again. This must be a problem between me and you, because we've had no problems at all until I came on, and now you're freezing up.
Yeah, well, on my end, it's you who's freezing up.
Right. So, let's just see if we can fight through it. If not, I'll have to come down there and turn that other computer off. I had restarted home, and we had stopped having problems, and then now we're clearly going to have problems. Okay.
Chicken says, at least he isn't. At least Okposo, yeah, he was on the top line momentarily. Okposo was on the top line momentarily because Reinhard appeared to be bleeding considerably, but both Reinhard and Tarasenko were good. Reinhard and Tarasenko are good to go for Game 5. Glenn asks, so we agree it was goalie interference?
Hold on, let me turn this off.
David says, Bennett brings great motivation, but Game 5 here at home, he will be the target Boston will aim to take out. Wonder if he should play. I think he plays.
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't think you should sit Bennett. I'm going to turn yours off too.
Okay. Let's see. Bob says, to listen to Bruins fans, you'd think Marchand was just skating over to Bennett to ask for his autograph and got punched.
Your phone is right there. Make sure your phone is disconnected from the Wi-Fi.
All right.
I'm trying to. I guess I'm gonna have to call. I had restarted the modem, and it had been really good for a couple of days, and then all of a sudden this morning we got a problem. I think maybe the modem is going.
So. iDog says it was goalie interference when the Bruins player skated backward into Bob. Not sure whatever goalie interference you could mean. Ronnie says Bob played out of his mind after giving up 2. Okay.
All right, we'll try this one more time. After the last one, after the time we had the problems before, I restarted the whole modem and rebooted it, and the internet has been perfect since then until Kyle and I sat down to do this morning. So go figure. Jerry says it's rigged after watching that blown call. Well, look, watched it. I've seen what people saying about it. I've seen a million different explanations. There's a section of the rule book, and I'm not going to get in the weeds here, but basically, to put it into paraphrasing, shoving around and inside the crease is allowed. If it's a complete and utter judgment call between the line of he just kind of lightly shoved him and it was a cross check that affected the player's direction. Now, defensive player skates into the crease by himself. Bennett shoves him and helps him along, and ref doesn't call it a cross check, so they can't retroactively call that a penalty in review. So they have to take the referee's interpretation that it was just a shove, and based on that, again, it's a gray area up to interpretation of whether or not the goalie could have gotten back and made the save. And I was sitting there saying with Kyle last night, I'm like, Bennett didn't need to do that. He didn't need to do that. And while on one hand, that makes it sound like Bennett did something stupid, right? The fact that he didn't need to do it kind of, I mean, look, if you ask 100 people, they're going to have 100 different opinions, right? So it's just a person that's in Toronto making the decision. You know what I mean? When you get into the rule book and you get into the gray areas, it's just interpretation. So I totally understand people have interpreted it that it shouldn't have been a goal. If they would have taken it back, I would have not even blinked. I would have said, yeah, I guess, okay. What's amazing to me, to be honest, is the fact that they supposedly had so many, they're going to watch the series so closely, and with everything going on with Bennett, the fact that they didn't just immediately call it a cross check, to me, that's where I think, again, this ain't me. This is, that's the way the rule book is. It's the interpretation. It's a judgment call. It's a judgment call between he just kind of shoved them and it was really a cross check that affected. I mean, obviously it sent them down. So, the only thing I can say about it is that only tied the game. And I mean, we completely outshot them and outplayed them in the third period. But I also know that, you can look at it both ways. You can say, well, if they don't score that goal, the Panthers continue to play a different style because we're trying to catch up. So, if they don't allow that goal, the Bruins might play a little bit differently because they're not trying to score again to win the game. So it's hard to say what would have happened after a missed call because everybody's mindset changes. Maybe Barkov doesn't even make that crazy move because he's not thinking about, the go-ahead goal. He's maybe playing 1% more safe because they're still behind. You can't go back in anything in sports and life. You can't go back and say, well, I woulda, shoulda, woulda, if this wouldn't have happened, because you don't know how you would have felt. You don't know how you would have reacted. So it's I totally understand the Bruins fans being upset about it. But my empathy for Bruins fans stops at when I see them all publicly just asking the Bruins players to purposefully be dirty and hit our guys. That's where it's just like, all right, so, like I said in last night's recap, you admit you're okay with that level of violence being on the ice, but you just don't want it against your players.
So there's a handful of comments that, I was waiting for you to finish.
Hold on, John. Wait, John. Thank you, buddy. Thank you, John. Thank you, buddy. Now, what's interesting, John? That's a weird question, but I want to answer it. He says, "Have you ever seen ants with wings?" I was sitting outside with Fluffy about 10 days ago, and out of one of the pieces of wood from underneath it, on one of the pieces of wood on Sonia's grave, there must have been 500, 1,000, and they must have been hatchlings because they just came out of the ground and they just started flying all over the place. And then their wings dropped off and they were ants. So it's just crazy that you would ask that question because I literally Googled it like 10 days ago because there must have been a nest and there's just like all of a sudden 1,000 ants were flying around and then they just took off and they just flew away. But some of them stayed on the wood and they were ants with wings, but then the wings came off. So it's crazy. Go ahead, Kyle.
So I'm trying to catch up with comments here.
Back to Kyle's live stream. My apologies.
Metallic Coaster was asking, would you say this is more or less egregious than the 2 Lightning goals called back for interference?
What I'll say is we need to be better against the Rangers than we've been against the Lightning and the Bruins. Bob going to need to be better. Now, we've all seen Bob kind of, he has his dips and plays, and then all of a sudden he's, Vezina Bob again. We're fixing to beat the Bruins with Bob with a sub 900. And I'll take it because that means he's in one of those dips. He's not had a great series. He's made some great individual saves, but overall, part of that is a product of, just not facing a lot of shots every night, right? So in terms of those goals that call back against Tampa, yeah, we've had some go our way. There's no, and the internet agrees with me. There we go again. Go ahead, Kyle.
Hey, MJ, thank you for the 20.
Hey, MJ, thank you, buddy. I'm going to remove myself just a bit so you can catch up.
MJ says, hey, Justin, Kyle, happy Monday. Hope everyone had a good Mother's Day. Bronny James going to the NBA. Steve Buscemi got punched in the face by a New York dude. Feeling good after last night's win. Stay focused. So,
all right, let's try this again.
Colin says it doesn't help that Boston only had 2 shots in the third period and 0 in the last 14 minutes in the period.
Right. Hey, thank you. And thank you again, MJ. I didn't want to, I had to remove myself because the stream's getting wonky. Yeah. And thank you, Frank. Thank you, buddy. Thank you. Now you know how it feels, Boston fans, right? Go ahead, Kyle. I keep interrupting.
RC says, this series reminds me of the Lightning sweep a few years ago. We were the hot and angry team looking for a big hit. while Tampa focused on winning. It's amazing how much this team has grown.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner, right there. Boston is so focused. I mean, I'm watching them just forget about the puck. You know,
Yeah.
multiple times a night, you see them, they're just completely forgetting about the puck, and it is going for the hit. And the Panthers are like going down the ice with the puck. You know what I mean? I mean, part of the reason that we have had such incredible possession numbers is that, 2-3 times a period, Boston is just going for the hit and forgetting about there's actual hockey game on the ice. And they haven't fixed that. They haven't sorted through that. It hasn't logged into their head that, hey, we're kind of losing because we're focused on being rough and not really focused on actually possessing the puck. Thank you, Jeffrey. Yeah, Carpenter ants. Yeah. I'd never seen that happen before. And we're just sitting there, and Fluffy's like looking around like, what the hell is this, man? It was crazy. I forgot to tell you, Kyle.
Yeah. Catherine says, any updates from the Sweeney presser? Like, apparently Don Sweeney was doing a press conference at about 12:20.
Uh-huh.
So
I see.
And also Royce's Everblades are in the conference finals.
Okay, that's cool. And there goes the internet again. This is crazy. Go ahead, Kyle. I'm going to remove myself again.
All right, so yeah, Eisenite says Sweeney agrees with Jaws. Hey Frank, thank you for the 5. Thank you for the 5, Frank. Says playoffs is about wins and losses, Jaws. If Bob is minus 1,000 save percentage and we win, I'll take it any day. I want to win even in the worst way. Eisenite says Sweeney said they're not supposed to ask Montgomery about officiating. Instead, we need to talk to the league officiating supervisor. Sweeney is basically saying NHL needs to put officials in front of mics. And it would seem that is not working even with after Dad has removed himself. Everyone is saying it's really pixelated and not working. All right, let's try this again. Let's see. Well, thank you, Frank. If you can hear me, thank you, Frank, for the 5. This playoffs is about wins and losses. Let's see. Bob with the 89 save percentage. 89% save percentage, right where we want it. Oh, you guys saw Fluff. Yeah, Fluffy is the background. Okay, I think we might be good now. Hey, Sweeney says we are not supposed to ask Montgomery about officiating. Says we need to talk to the league officiating supervisor. Sweeney is basically saying NHL needs to put officials in front of mics.
I've only been saying it for how many years? I have literal videos just about that subject. Yeah, you need to have a guy comes out after the game and answers questions. They're just now figuring that out.
So did you see Frank gave us 5?
No, thank you, Frank. Thank you, buddy. Much appreciated.
It says playoff.
I'm sorry
ahead.
about the internet issues. I don't know if it's my house, my modem, everything. We've done all the things with the restarting the modems and the computers are clean. We've had no problems for 2 days. We had no problems last night. Didn't even have one little minor glitch last night. And internet's been fine all day. And as soon as we start streaming here today, you guys see the results.
Frank says playoffs is about wins and losses, Jaws. If Bob has minus 1,000 save percentage and we still win, and I'll take it any day you want to win, even in the worst way.
Right. I see that. I don't know. We've been doing this a while and we haven't had any problem because I'm still getting the error notice. So,
well, it's fine on my end.
Okay. All right. Yeah. This is about since about 3 days beforehand, about 3 days before the playoffs started. It's not too bad yet.
Yeah.
If we make it to the finals, then yeah, exactly. But thank you, Frank. Yeah, no, look, you're right on about Bob. I mean, I wasn't saying that to necessarily be overly critical of Bob. The point being is that we're winning the series 3-1, and he's got a sub 900. So if he steps up against the Rangers, I feel like, there's room there for us to improve from where we are.
Hey, MJ, thank you for the 10.
Thank you, MJ.
He says, what do you guys think about the refs having cameras on their helmets? The NFL and I think MLB had them for a while. Maybe the NHL would benefit from it.
Huh. I hadn't thought about that. Huh. I mean, I guess the whole thing there is, and especially like with the Bennett thing, everybody, you can slow it down to 1 million freaking frames per second. And yeah, look, you can make anything sound like anything. You know what I mean? He wasn't going to extend his left hand. It's broken. So yeah, it looked a little bit awkward. But he can't, he's not going to extend his left hand as Marchand is coming over. So I think he was just trying to, push off of him, and he ended up, barely touching him in the face. Like the contact is like 1/10 of a second. So it is what it is. What CBD do I give him? 1,500, Austin. I give him 1,500 milligrams. I get the good stuff. It's expensive, but the difference between when I give him 515 or even 1,000, it's palpable. And the cheaper stuff will upset his stomach a little bit. So don't go for the cheap stuff. There's cheaper stuff that you can get, but it upsets their stomach. Bruins fans are. Go ahead, Kyle.
He says Bruins fans are calling for Sweeney to be fired.
Jeez. Trey's got a good point. Trey's played before on tape. Yes, it looks intentional. His fist goes right into Marchand's face, but the logistics are too superhuman for it to have been intentional. It's just so awkward looking. The whole thing. What was Marchand doing, by the way? Because to me, if I'm Bennett, what I'm looking at Marchand coming over is all I'm thinking is I got to protect my hand. The damn thing is broke. So, yeah, it was an awkward way that he did that, but he couldn't use his left hand. So, what's he supposed to do? Turn his back and let him plaster him in the back. I mean, maybe he draws a penalty that way, but it happened, and it's like that. It's like a split second.
Joe Tex says, Kyle and Jaws, who's the Panthers MVP of this series right now?
I got to go with Barkov.
Yeah.
Maybe Forsling, Barkov or Forsling. Forsling has just been incredibly Forsling-ish, right? He's just a unit out there. But Barkov is really he's played well. I can't even think. Oh yeah, and Collins got a good point, or Erod. Collins got a good point about Erod.
So, MJ, did you just time out Ryan Reeve for Hurricanes bye-bye? Dietrich says Oki for 6-man award.
No,
And
he did. He did. He. Um. That's between MJ and Ryan. I'm not getting in the middle. He only timed him out. And MJ asked him to stop.
Hey, Eisenite, thank you for the 5.
Hey, guys. Thank you, buddy. Thank you.
Says, I can't believe Marchand tried to lick Bennett's fist like that. Classless play.
Yeah. He wanted to get a taste of some of that if he's got biofreeze on there or whatnot.
Joe
right?
Tex Barkov 11 points in 4 games or something like that. You also think that Okposo has had a bigger impact in this series than the last. Yes, as Barkin is finding his purpose on the team.
Yeah. No, I mean, Reinhardt goes out and Maurice is like, screw it, put Okposo on the top line. And it worked. It looked good. How do you like that?
Kostas says, I am a huge Tarasenko fan. I don't get it. Why don't they use him more? Why don't they put him on the first power play unit? He's a game changer, just saying.
Yeah, I like. Go ahead, Kyle.
Tarasenko, we already got him on the first line, so he's already getting first line minutes. And also, I think the power play units as they stand are pretty effective. I mean, you got Verhaeghe, Kachuk, Barkov, and Reinhardt and Montour all on the same power play units. That has to be a winning combination.
I think Tarasenko helps balance out that second unit a little bit. You know what I mean? But I mean, I like him. I'd like to see him get him re-signed, no doubt. It's a good problem to have, right? But Rodriguez has really been playing well, though, too. He really stepped up his game. You know, he's really playing well, and even when his shots, at least he's hitting the net now, so that if he gets his chance and he's hitting the net, we get a face-off, and we've been dominating there.
Who were you talking about?
Erod.
Oh, Erod.
Yeah, Reinhardt's going to be fine. Reinhardt, he was just bleeding a lot, so I guess they couldn't get him back out there on the ice. But Reinhardt's good for Game 5. What's that? Oh, Fluffy giving you the whining treatment?
Yeah.
What, he's looking for me?
He's just walking around. He was looking at the stairs. Now he's walking. He's on the upper side of the couch.
Okay. Is he going to lay down?
Lay down, buddy. Nope, there he goes towards the stairs again.
Yeah, because he's hearing me. That's right. Well, as long as he doesn't try to come up the stairs, right? Yeah, Fluffy was asking when Reinhardt's going to end his scoring drought. Fluffy, I'm right here. Oh, he can't hear me. I'll come down for 10 seconds and I'll come back. Let me go say hi to him.
Fluffy. He's so needy, Fluffy. Let's see.
Fluffy.
Let's see.
What are we whining about? I'm right here. What are we crying about? Come here, you big baby. Tell MJ you got me up at 5.
MJ, Fluffy got my dad up at 5.
I have a question, Kyle.
Yeah?
Have you had that tab open the whole time?
No.
Okay. I'm just saying because that's part of what happens with that laptop. If you open up another tab and we leave it there, when the ads run in the background and we don't know it,
I see.
That'll slow things down. I got to turn that airplane on. That's what it is. It's too
warm. Stuart Skinner actually got pulled last night.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. Well, he allowed 4 goals on 15 shots. Jeez. Hungry Xenomorph asks, any predictions for tonight's Do the Canes steal another one?
Hold on, Fluffy, but okay, I'm cooling it off here. I got warm quick.
Do the Canes steal another one?
I hope so. It'd be nice if the Kings would lay a hit. Jeez. I mean, put up some kind of a fight.
Yeah.
All right, you got to settle down.
Create.
Settle, sit.
The Hurricanes have the chance to do something really funny.
I'll sit right here. He's giving me the baby treatment. Yeah, you can see. Look at the camera.
That's a good boy.
Lovey.
Daddy. Brothers.
Yeah, okay.
This is
We're right here.
ridiculous.
This is all still because I was gone for 2 hours yesterday. All right, we went on our walk this morning. What are you doing? Come on.
Does Dallas go ahead 3-1 in the series, or do the Avalanche tie the series at 2?
Come on, buddy. Huh? Between you and the internet, I just can't do my
Colin
job.
says Rangers in 5, so it helps out his bracket. MJ asks, how was the drive to drop off Matthias?
Oh, I get so nauseous driving now.
He's a good boy.
The drive there wasn't too bad because him and I talked for a while, so that helps me not get nauseous. But the drive home, come on, you got to settle down, okay? Jesus. All it took was me being gone a couple hours.
Colin thinks Stars in 6.
All right, good boy. Okay, I'll be right back. I got it cooling off in here, okay? All right, good boy. All right, hey,
So,
good boy. Be right back.
yeah, tonight is game 5 between the Rangers and Hurricanes, and I believe it's game 4 between the Stars and Avalanche. Kenneth asks, did Bennett's get an escort out of Boston last night, safe back in Florida? I'm sure he's good. Matthew says Kyle did not sleep last night thinking about bullying Boston. I got sleep. Hey, Rosado passed all his finals.
Congratulations. Fantastic. MJ, to answer your question, that would be, well, it wasn't Fluffy's fault today. 5 o'clock this morning. I had a massive migraine, 5 o'clock. Woke up. We sat outside till about 7:30. And then I actually got a couple hour nap this morning. So I'm okay.
Cam says,
good job, Rosado. Sorry, Kyle.
Cam says, Bruins fan, I really wish the refs would stay out of it. I think the outcome would be the same for the most part, but that last game was brutal. We had no chance. I'm okay with losing the series, but not that way.
Yeah. I understand. Look, I get it. Like I said, that was a tough one. Hopefully they come out and they give us some kind of explanation. There really should be. You guys know I've been saying that for years now. Just the coach comes out and the players come out, and then the referee representative comes out, and media is able to ask questions, and that would solve so much of the crap that goes online. I mean, irresponsible crap. I know it gets clicks and everything, but when you got people like, that have, platforms on national networks and they're advocating for dirty play to hurt players, how are we supposed to feel bad if Bennett accidentally or he purposely, whatever you want to say, if their answer is to just call for retribution in the form of purposeful dirty play, how are we supposed to give a crap about the original guy that got injured. You follow what I'm saying? It's like, it's just very hypocritical.
Isonite says that Bennett has a police escort out of the arena. Is that actual news, or is that I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, Kenneth says ref comes out and says we defer to the situation room. Yeah, that yeah. They need transparency. And there goes the internet again. They need transparency.
He made that up.
No, I know. No, yeah, about it, right? Yeah, they need transparency. Kyle's frozen up again.
Okay. MJ thinks it must be the Northern Lights messing with the internet. Hey, John, thank you for the 2. Thank you for the 2, John. Says, can we rename Ryan Reed to Captain Oblivious? Let's see. Great White says, I hope we get home ice advantage like Boston got. They almost took Kachuk head with freeze cross checks to the back. I thought that was Rodriguez who got elbowed. I guess you're referring to a different incident. Let's see.
So what I'm going to do, I'm going to call the internet company today and see if it's on their end. I might need a new modem, but I think what we'll start doing, Kyle, to solve this problem temporarily is I'll just sit with you downstairs on the couch.
Okay.
That solves the fluffy problem, and we're not having any issues when you had no issues yesterday when it was you by yourself, right?
Yeah.
Right.
No issues.
And like 3 or 4 times now, I add my stack in, and I think what we'll do for the playoffs, because this is unacceptable. It gone again. It's gone again. All right, so I'm going to say goodbye. So Kyle can finish this in the last 5 minutes because this is absurd.
Okay.
Thank you all for coming. Appreciate all the support. Sorry about all the technical issues. It's just pissing me off. You guys know the history here. It's like it'll be fine for like 8-9 months, and then just out of nowhere, it's like this again.
Hello, Detective Rose.
Yep. So I'm going to go, and then Kyle can finish it. I did that. I've done that. And it did get better for a couple of days. I rebooted it. What's today? Monday? Saturday, I came home. I rebooted it. Everything was perfect up until this stream. So it's just like, okay, either the modem's going or they're having problems. But I'm going to say goodbye, and I will see you later, and Kyle can finish this up. Thank you all.
Let's see. Okay. Well, I'll stick around. I'll stick with you guys for a few minutes. Let's see. Detective Rose says, "Boo Oilers." Well, Vancouver has the 2-1 series leads now, and also the Stars. The Stars have a 2-1 series lead headed into tonight, and they're looking to make it a 3-1 series lead on home ice. No, excuse me. The game is in Colorado tonight. Detective Rose says, "Go Dallas." How is everybody feeling about tonight's game between the Rangers and Hurricanes? So, Juju says, "I'm a bit late, and it was probably discussed while I wasn't here, but what's your opinion on the new angle of Bennett's reverse hit on Marchand?" Well, Trey, who has played hockey before, he talked about it, and he said, yeah, it looks like it was intentional, but with the logistics of skating on the ice, it would have to be you would have to be basically superhuman to be able to intentionally punch someone in that manner while grasping the stick. Yes, John, Dad and I will be live to do Rangers and Hurricanes Game 5. That stream will start about half an hour before the puck drop. Kevin, you hate the Kings. Well, the Kings have lost 3 straight years in a row to the Oilers in the first round, so I guess you've been happy with those results. So, yeah, I guess there's not much left to say. Oh, Trey says, the biggest theme for me is the stick being in Bennett's hand. The weight of the stick is going to affect a punch drastically. Then you add into the fact that Marchand is coming in hot on skates. Well, yeah, like Bennett himself said, Marchand just skated really fast into his head, which sounds like he's trolling, but it really isn't. Costa says, I hope Carolina wins the game. The longer that series goes, the better for us. Yeah, if Carolina can keep that series alive, Panthers will get extra rest compared to the Rangers. Kevin, you were a big Panthers Coyotes fan, so the Coyote side of you hated Los Angeles. So I think that's about it. Marlins actually won yesterday as well, so good for them. Let's see. What does Elliot Friedman have to say? Let's see. Sweeney. Let's see. So you predict, Costa, you're predicting a big upset. Carolina's going to win the series against her. That would be hilarious. Yeah, the rare Marlins W. John says, can the Boston leaders please stop being physical? Marchand gets injured by Bennett and Pasta got beat up by Kachuk. Lead by example, but not this example. Trey says, I think Bennett was in the process of covering up and the odds just weren't in Marchand's favor. Great White says, Rangers scare me. Canes is a better fit for Bob to stop the rebound. Yeah, we're all Canes fans tonight. All right, well, I think I will go ahead and sign off now since the internet continues to give issues, it looks like. But yeah. Panthers have a 3-1 series lead now, headed back home. And also the Hurricanes are trying to keep their season alive tonight. So
once you're done, I'm going to unplug the modem and reboot it.
All right, so we'll see you all tonight. You take care. We'll be live half an hour before puck drop. All right. Okay. Hang on. Let me say, see you later, everyone.